years ago, and the Fiserv formula's only been around a few years. It's not like it's 30 years old. It's only been around a few years. So years ago, when there was the discussion as to whether or not to build the Fiserv forum or to use public money or private money and all that kind of stuff, this was one of the things that we said. There's an intangible to this that you cannot put a price tag on. There's an intangible to this that you can't measure. It is the sense of community. It's the sense of state. It's the sense of pandemonium and what sweeps people up. If you're a sports fan, you love it. This is what you're living for. If you're not, then you're not getting this. But this is the reason that, because obviously, they went through hell in this state. I got here just as they were breaking ground on Miller Park and now American Family Field. And to the thought of losing the Brewers through both good and bad, think of where you'd be without the Brewers right now. Think of where you would be had the Bucks actually moved to Seattle, which was a real possibility. I mean, one of the commitments that God loved the senator. But one of the possibilities was that he could end up selling a team to a group that would move them. One of the conditions of selling the team was you kept them in Milwaukee. It was hard to find. But with that being said, you had to keep them in Milwaukee with almost the guarantee of the ability to get a new arena in Milwaukee and keep them in the state of Wisconsin. So for everything that had to come into place, everything that had to come into play, everything that needed to happen to keep this team here, now look where we're at. And aren't you glad it happened? I'm not getting political here. I'm just glad it happened, because think about the sense that everybody is feeling right now. 877-867-1670, 877-867-1670. If you want to hit us up, feel free. Coming up the next hour, we are going to hear from some of the Bucks. Coming up in the next hour, Andrew Wagner is going to be joining us, who I think he still lives in that downtown area. We'll have to talk with him about what's going on downtown, if indeed. But yeah, we'll touch base with him as well.
He said he used to live downtown, and his favorite part of it was he would charge people to use his bathroom.
Really? Okay. Well, hey, if you got to make money, got to make money. I do that. You can't charge people a lot of money, though, because I'm not paying more than $5 to go to the bathroom.
No, but on a night like tonight?
Oh, if you got 60,000 people knocking on your door, multiply that by 3, and you're feeling pretty good. We got 1 hour down, 3 more to go. We are on the precipice of the Bucks winning a championship. It's all Bucks all the time today. Stay tuned. A lot more of the Michael Show coming up right after this.
Wisconsin Sports Zone update. The Milwaukee Bucks, who started the NBA Finals.
One of those cuts I sent you was Giannis talking about how he didn't care about LeBron sitting courtside.
Okay.
That's a funny question that they asked.
The action set tonight
in Space Jam.
off at 8 o'clock in Game 6. Giannis Antetokounmpo says they need to stay healthy.
Obviously, you know what the deal is. It's why being the NBA champion, he's the best guy. He knows that nobody can take it that away from him. Our family, our friends, it's big. It's not big, but we got to wait. We got to focus and keep playing good basketball.
To the majors, the Milwaukee Brewers even changed their start time to accommodate the Bucks from 7:10 to 3:10 first pitch today as they welcome the Kansas City Royals to American Family Field. Here's more from manager Craig Counsell.
It's just a thrill, man. You know, to be so close, to be down 2-0 and do what they've done. I mean, we're all excited. We really are. I mean, the clubhouse is excited for them. I know that. We've talked about it a lot. And we're thrilled and happy for the city and for all the fans. It's a really, really cool thing.
The Brewers currently sit at 57-39 on the year.
I don't think this computer has a audio input.
Got a headphone jack?
It's got a headphone jack, but I think that's output only.
Is a proud sponsor of the Wisconsin State Fair. Thank you for your support. They're giving away State Fair tickets.
That's why they can hear.
Not ideal.
We are just a week away from the Green Bay Packers training camp starting, and 8 days away from the Packers. Obviously, all eyes are on Aaron
Their district that's like full of it's like deer on all the walls and like antlers.
I'm Hebo.
Welcome back. Glad to have you, the Bill Michaels Show. We are on the air, and we are continuing on today. It is all Bucks, all the time. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. I'm excited. Hopefully you are as well. Milwaukee Bucks on the precipice of getting themselves into a championship situation to where they're going to hoist the trophy. I don't want to say guaranteeing anything because that freaks me out. But yeah, I'm excited about this. If you want to chime in, 877-867-1670, 877-867-1670. If you want to give us a shout, 877-867-1670. If you want to find us over on Twitter, please do so. At Bill_Michaels, at Bill_Michaels. You can find us over on the Facebook fan page. Go to facebook.com/Bill Michael, The Bill Michaels Show, /The Bill Michaels Show. You can also find us over on YouTube and on Twitch. Just search Bill Michaels and you can find it there. The website, TheBillMichaels.com, another great way to get hold of us. So plenty of ways to be a part of the program. Plenty of ways to be a part of the program. Got one here from Christopher, who says, what does he say here? He says, hey, Bill, down at the Deer District, people are already putting up tents in case they want to camp out overnight. Are they going to make us take those away? I have no idea. I don't have any say over the Deer District at all. Just so you know. No say over the Deer District. That is, that's something else there. So I don't know what the rules are. I don't know what you can and can't do. My guess is if they're going to squeeze 65,000 down there, chances are they're not going to want you setting up all kinds of tents. You know what I mean? So enjoy yourself, but be smart about it because I can't imagine that they're going to allow people in the Deer District to just kind of take over the joint. As far as, and by that I mean as far as you setting up tents, and because if everybody bought a tent and brought chairs, then the amount of people would be significantly less, correct? So I can't imagine it. When you were down at the Deer District, did they have chairs and tents and all that crap down there?
The last time I was there was Game 7 against the Nets, and no, that was also before they had fences.
Right.
Like that was back when they were, I don't know, 10,000 people there instead of 60. So a lot's changed.
Yeah, I can imagine that it's not. They're not going to allow you to bring that kind of stuff down there. 877-867-1670. 877-867-1670. Let's see here. This is from Jacob. Jacob says, no, they are not allowing chairs. They are not allowing tents. If you need to bring those things down, leave them in your car. Otherwise, they're going to be confiscated. Public Works is taking them. And again, they haven't even announced the parade yet. And people are trying to set up. Let them win it first. And then go down and start setting up. Let them win it first. And then go down and start setting up. See what happens. After that, you're probably good. This is from, who's this from? This is Randy. Randy says, Unit, great show. I have become a Milwaukee Bucks fan by listening to you. I was with you all the way through the Fiserv Forum controversy. I'm glad that they have it here. I was one of those people that voted against it originally, but now I'm glad the Bucks are a part of the Milwaukee fabric and the Wisconsin fabric. Fear the Deer. Well, that's Randy. Appreciate it, man. There's not many people that come back and say, boy, okay, well, you know, I'm glad after all. Let's go to Aaron listening to us in La Crosse. Aaron, how you doing today, man? What's going on? I am doing well. I'm giddy right now. What's on your mind? Are you really? That's fantastic. So are you just going to the Deer District or you got to take the game? Right. That's awesome. Now, let me ask you this. What is your age? Okay. There is a lot of people that are under the age of 30 that are heading to the Deer District. That's the reason I asked, because I know there's a lot of people over the age of 30 that are going to be there, but I think the majority of people are going to be the ages of 20 and probably 30 that are going to be out there just putting their brains out tonight. So are you staying in Milwaukee tonight when you get there? And if they win, or are you heading back home after the fact? Yeah, I agree. I'm glad you're staying down there. It should be a lot of fun. No, you can say one hell of a party. Hell yeah. Yeah. And cross your fingers that I completely agree to win tonight. Appreciate you, buddy, and stay safe, okay? He drops off. You get on board 855 or 877-867-1670, 877-867-1670. I know we were trying to work on the Bud Light live stream, not hear the callers, and that's because we don't have an audio input. Computers nowadays don't have audio inputs anymore. I guess they're on USB cords. Maybe we get Trevor from downstairs to come up and try to figure this thing out. All the computers that I use, none of them have an audio input. They all have USB ports now. That's all they have. Who knew? I didn't. Let's do this. So when you talk about Coach Bud and his team coming into the postseason, one of the guys that he was relying upon has been playoff Pat Connaughton. He talks about him.
There's just a real, I think, discipline, focus, preparation, and commitment to his craft. That's really been building over the last couple of years. When you pair that with his athleticism, just his general kind of, everything he brings to the game, and a higher level of commitment to just his craft, shooting, preparation. I think that's all allowed him to be ready for this.
Giannis says this is the big thing, is just focus on the moment and remain humble and have humility.
When you focus on the past, that your ego really is, we're able to beat this team for all. Maybe they did, I did this, something like that. When I focus in the future, it's like, all right, yeah, next game, game 5, I do this and this and this. I'm going down. Right, so, it doesn't happen. And I kind of like try to focus in the moment, in the present. That's humility. That's being humble. That's not necessarily no expectation. I think I talk to that. That's the skill that I try to like.
So Giannis, one of the other discussions was about this journey from where they've been to where he was, getting drafted, coming through the whole process, signing the Supermax, bringing in the additional players, additional help. The journey, the long journey is finally, at least they're on the precipice of this thing finally coming to a culmination.
see how tired they are after games. That's why you kind of like just they go through this journey with you. You know, like I'm tired, and the next week Chris is tired, Drew is tired, whatever the case might be, you know. And that's why you kind of like, you know, it's like a, you know, it's like you're brothers, you know what I'm saying? Like that's like you have them, put your arm around them, and like we got this together. We got to keep doing this together until the end. And close to the end, you know. So that's why you see those moments more and more and more in the playoffs.
That is a great way. He's just when you get Giannis to get kind of into himself and deep in thought, he's just so cool to listen to. He's just so cool to listen to, and it's very much it's very unselfish for a guy that is a true superstar. It's very unselfish. Now, he was asked, oh, by the way, LeBron sitting courtside. How do you feel about that?
Crazy. Yeah, first time he was in the finals was 2007. I wasn't playing basketball. That's crazy to think about. Yeah, obviously, you know, my team was LeBron James. He was sitting right across our bench. But they had the chance to engage with him, and you know, I wouldn't engage with him. That's something I don't do. That's it. Might be my mother's shit. Of course, I see that on the game. Play, I just try to focus as much as possible. And but this is crazy. This is a great story. This is not a promo. The night before, I was watching Space Jam on HBO. Yeah, so I was watching Space Jam, you know, and you know, there he goes. The courtside sitting, but no, I wasn't able to engage with him in any way.
No, not going to engage with him, and that's good. You know what? This is the same guy that didn't want to practice or work out with LeBron in the offseason because they're competitors, and he didn't want to create a relationship with a lot of these guys. And I love that. He also talks about the mindset, believing that this team, for their destiny, that this is where they're supposed to be.
One thing that I pick up personally in the playoffs, I think early in my career, I was like getting too high too low. You know, played a good game. I was so, you know, so happy. You know, feel like you know, and this and the crowd, the fans cheering, all that. You know, came back home when I came back for the final, whatever the game might be over. Here at home, played at home. I felt good going back home. Don't get like too high or maybe lost. I feel like it was the end of the world. You know, like this year, lose or win. That did not happen. Like I was the same kind of guy. You know, I just lived whatever I go. Because I believe that you know I'm supposed to be, you know, be there. Not
I love the fact that he believes that they believe they're supposed to be there. That's exactly what you want. That's exactly what you want. That this is that we don't feel lucky. This is our destiny. This is where we're supposed to be. Now, Drew Holiday, he said, "Look, you know, you got to play desperate because you got at max 2 games left. You got to play desperate." And in addition to that, then you've got also Chris Middleton says one of the big things you have to do is completely block out all distractions, which is easier said than done. And PJ Tucker, last but not least, says that when you look around the room, everybody, and we talked about this yesterday, everybody's had a moment, everybody has contributed. So there you go. That's a lot of the guys in anticipation for tonight's contest. Giannis, Holiday, Chris Middleton, PJ Tucker, Coach Bud. When we come back, we'll talk with Andrew Wagner, Forbes.com, and we'll talk a lot of Bucks basketball. It's Bucks all the time today on the Bill Michaels Show coming up next.
Covering Wisconsin sports like a blanket. This is the Bill Michaels Show on the Wisconsin Sports Zone Radio Network.
I guess when I use this computer, I just need to run audio through like I do at home. I got to bring my rest of my setup.
Right. Also, it's tough with the phone line being in that room,
Right.
being separate from everything else.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm a technologically sound person, but I still struggle so much with
Well, like the setup at home
the ins and outs. Oh yeah,
is
Yeah.
is pretty,
it looks seamless.
but it took me a while. I had to buy all that equipment.
Mhm.
And I used to run bars, nightclubs, so when I would set up DJ systems, you kind of learn about OHMs and grounding and running audio and pots, mic pots.
Right.
You know, you learn all that. So it took me a while to get that system set up and sounding right. But
I was also impressed that you could just take it on the road and it works wherever.
it's a lot of weight, though.
Yeah.
That suitcase is like 85 pounds that it goes in. I don't know how I'm going to get it out to Super Bowl this year out there, out to LA.
Dude, Andrew's fine.
Welcome back. We are on the precipice of a championship. Could it happen tonight? And could it happen for the first time since Moses was a baby on Wisconsin soil, which would be absolutely fantastic. And welcome back to the program, The Bill Michaels Show. We continue on. If you want to get a hold of us, you can do do it in many different ways. You can find us over on the Facebook fan page. Go to facebook.com/The Bill Michaels Show. You can listen to the program on the Odyssey app, AUDACY. And just look up WOZN Madison, and which is a great way to take us anywhere and everywhere. You can also listen to us on many of our affiliates all throughout the great state of Wisconsin. Joining us now, I would assume within the 50-mile range of the Deer District, and probably can hear it starting to gather, is one Andrew Wagner, Forbes.com. Andrew, how you been? Oh, yeah. You used to overlook the Deer District. It right. I was going to say the dog would probably be going more nuts. But that being said, so how far away are you from downtown now? Excellent. Excellent. So tonight's content. Now, are you going to be there tonight or are you going to be at home? Right. So, which is 100% correct. By the way, there is a hotel that has a W in its name, which is where many of the four-letter folks are staying. Just an FYI. Thought I'd throw it out there. Let me ask you this. So tonight's contest, I woke up today with a gut feeling they're going to win it. And I don't know why, I just do. But I don't even know where to begin. I mean, to me tonight, you hear so much Giannis talking about his teammates, about his brothers. And it's like we can pick out any aspect of this game and say, this needs to be better. This needs to happen. What do you feel tonight needs to happen? Because I think it comes down to one thing in two different parts. That is, you've got a wounded animal in the Phoenix Suns. You've got to withstand the flurry in the first quarter and the third quarter. And that's it. If you withstand both of those flurries, you're going to win the game.
Every one of those 48 minutes, like they are down 3 points, because we have seen this Bucks team time and time again get complacent, get to a all behind early, all behind the middle of the game, and then have to scramble. They need to come out from start to finish like they are the team that they've been anointed for 3 years now. They need to come out and be that dominant team from the opening tip to the final whistle, because I'm sorry, you're going up against a team that has absolutely nothing to lose. Nothing. They are, the Suns are not supposed to be here, but let's be honest. The team that was, one of the worst in the league the last couple of years. Nobody was picking the Suns to get to this point, even last this far. And plus they've got one bona fide stars in the NBA in what might be his last chance to get a ring. The Suns are the definition of playing with house money. I mean, they see that Bucks fans and the Bucks are already anointing themselves red. They see that there's people already staking out a three-round spot. You don't think that that's on their mind? They're going to come out there looking to punch the Bucks right in the face. And if the Bucks can't throw the first punch, man, I don't like their chances tonight.
I do like what the Bucks have going on, the mojo coming out of Game 5. The fact that they were down 16 and they didn't panic. They came very slowly, steadily back. If they win this thing, because Giannis will win that. But how much credit do we give John Horst for bringing in and pulling the trigger on Drew Holiday for what he's meant to this team?
That's absolutely going to go down as John Horst's best move. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Now, is that extension going to pay off? That remains to be seen. But for what this team was lacking in past playoff runs and what they're getting out of Drew Holiday now, and the weird thing is, though, a lot of what Drew Holiday does that helps this team doesn't show up in the stat sheet. And I really hate being cliche, but just his mere presence on the floor makes the opposing team adjust their game plan. And I don't think they were doing that with Eric Bledsoe. With Eric Bledsoe, like, yeah, we know what he's going to do. We're not really concerned about it. But Drew Holiday makes you reconsider your plan of attack on both ends of the floor, and that doesn't always show up in the sheet.
Talking with Drew Wagner of Forbes.com. Bucks coming up tonight on the precipice of winning a championship. So all the people that were screaming for Coach Bud's head, I think, have, one, gone away. Two, will come back loud and proud if they lose these next two games. But give me your overall assessment of Coach Bud in this, not just the finals, but in the postseason in general.
It's tough to say because there have been some head-scratching moments. There have been some head-scratching decisions. And let's face it, his track record up until this year has not been great in the postseason. Obviously a great regular season coach, but going back to Atlanta, not exactly,
Really? So even though they get to the finals for the first time since 1974, if they don't win it, he's gone, in your opinion?
I think so. I mean, have these owners shown since they've gotten here that they're overly sentimental and long haul type of guys? I mean, you can't look at it as just getting to the finals this year and falling short. You have to look at the entire package. Last year again, it was awful with that team. Did not look good postseason. And it's not like the Bucks are just steamrolling through their opponents, this postseason. Yeah, they swept the Heat in the first round, but don't forget, Chris Middleton had to kind of bail them out in that opening game. I don't see these owners being the whole, hey, you know what, we came close, we're gonna keep building type of guys. I mean, look how they handled Larry Bruce, look how they handled Jason Kidd. I see them as getting impatient now, and you change the supporting cast, you change the point guard, you change the role players, the benefit players. What else can be changed at this point? And that's the head coach.
So I want to move forward and look at maybe an unsung tonight. So if Bud's going to make some moves and maybe a guy or two steps up, and I hate to use that term because it's always so craptastically cliche, but if I have to pick a guy that I'm going all in on, I'm going with Bobby Portis at home with that energy, because every time he walks on the floor, the crowd goes bananas. So if I'm going to pick a guy that's a non-starter usually to really ignite things tonight, I'm going to say it's going to be Portis.
He reminds me of the olden days, back when the Bucks were, not good, and I went to a lot of games. I just remember John Barry, and John, now I'm pretty new to the ESPN radio broadcast. All my high school buddies and I were on this, John Barry bandwagon, because late in games, things are out of hand, and the dude just had energy and fired the place up, and you need that. And you're right, though. I think that guy's the unsung hero. Whether he scores 3 points or 30 points, it doesn't matter. Just the energy and the boost that he brings, because he's usually coming in when guys need to close, when people are tired, like that. You can't put a price on that.
So to me, Bobby Portis is the equivalent of what Scotty Williams used to be. Right? Yeah, no, I completely agree. Hey, before I let you go, I do got to ask you a little bit real quick about the Brewers. Brewers got the sweep over the weekend, a hell of a way to come out of the All-Star break, and that is to beat up on the team that beat up on them just before they went into the All-Star break, and to get 3 against Cincinnati, to get that lead back to 7 games. If there's any Achilles heel to the Milwaukee Brewers right now, is it just strictly the fact that at times that offense goes away?
No, I think now at this exact moment, I think the Achilles heel is going to be the middle relief. Definitely IL, Red Box for Indeed. At this exact moment, I'm looking at the middle relief because, if the offense gets you a 1-run lead after your 3 studs are out of the game, you got to bridge to get the hitter. In the future, that's going to be the biggest weakness. They have good options, don't get me wrong, but that depth there in front of Josh Hader has been depleted, and they're going to need to keep that steady until Devin comes back or until Lotsberger's at the helm.
Drew, always good, my friend. Enjoy the night. Stay hydrated, and we will talk again soon, okay? All right, buddy. Appreciate it. There you go. Drew Wagner, Forbes.com. And yes, we know over on the Bud Light live stream, you can't hear the callers. We don't have the same setup here in studio that I have at home in the home studio, so we apologize. You can't hear the phones. But that being said, good to talk to Andrew again, and we'll talk to him later on down the road, hopefully when we get into the coverage of a Bucks championship parade. I don't know where we're going to be. I've got a few people that are hitting me up saying, where are you going to be for the parade if it takes place during the show? That would be a great question. Maybe we just park the RV somewhere and we do the show in the RV next to the parade route. That would be fantastic. And maybe be on top of the thing, watching the parade go by. We'll have to figure that out. Hey, speaking of fantastic ideas, if you are looking for new windows or new doors, there are not many days left. As a matter of fact, we're sitting here right now on the 20th with only, 11 days to go. 11 days to go in the month. And our friends at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, Gina Della from Pella says, look, this is it. They've been formed by the banks. that the 6 years no interest financing is over at the end of the month. So if you're thinking about 1 new window, 5 new windows, a window and a patio door, maybe a bay window and a patio door, whatever it happens to be, do it now. Set up your free in-home consultation today. And you can schedule it, get it on the books now so they can still give you the deal. But go ahead and give them a call, 855-PELLA-WI, 855-PELLA-WI, or go to PELLAWI.com. That is Pella, P-E-L-L-A, PELLAWI.com. And don't forget, they are the number one via consumer survey when it comes to windows and doors right now, whether it's the most innovative, the highest quality, the highest value you can put in your home to not only be safe, secure, and economical, but also adds value to your home. But this is the final days, 11 days yet to go, and then that's it. This deal goes away. 6 years, no interest financing right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Gina Della from Pella wants everybody to know this is it. It's coming. Make the phones ring. Go ahead and give them a shout. Go ahead and hit them up on the internet, whatever it happens to be. Set your in-home consultation free today at PellaWI.com or call them 855-PELLA-WI. That is 855-PELLA-WI. Stay tuned. More of the Bill Michaels Show coming up next.
This is the
Okay,
Bill
I'm
Michaels
back.
Show, the Wisconsin Sports Zone Radio Network.
Gina Della from Pella, working hard.
Cramming for finals.
Final exams, Gina? I thought school's out.
It's the final days of 6-year no interest financing at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. And I'm making sure everyone who wants a free in-home consultation gets one.
That busy?
Are you kidding? 6 years no interest means upgrading your old patio door can be as little as $84 a month.
Whoa, no wonder you're busy.
But that's not all. A 2021 consumer survey confirms Wisconsin homeowners say Pella windows are the highest quality, highest value, and
Now, is that
most preferred
expensive going
windows
to
they
pay
can
off? That
buy.
remains
So
to
with
be
even
seen,
more
but
appointments
for
and
what
more
this team
folks
was
saying
lacking
yes, Pella
in
Wisconsin's
past
off to
playoff runs
another
and what they're
record-setting
getting
month.
out of Drew Holiday now.
With
And the
6-year
weird
no
thing is,
interest
Bill, a lot of
financing,
what
you
Drew
can't
Holiday
afford the
does
windows and doors
that
you
helps
really
doesn't
want.
show up in the
Ace
stat
that
sheet.
final.
And I really
Set
hate
your
to
free
be cliche,
consultation
but
today
just
at
as your presence on the floor makes teams, makes the opposing team adjust their game plan. And I don't think they were doing that with Eric Bledsoe. With Eric Bledsoe, like, yeah, we know what he's going to do. You know, we're not overly concerned about it. But Drew Holiday, I don't think they were doing that with Eric Bledsoe. I don't think they were doing that with Eric Bledsoe. Eric Bledsoe. That's absolutely going to go down as one of John Morton.
So there is no way to run audio short of USB to this. So this plug doesn't do anything. It's a headphone jack.
Yeah, I guess aside from Dario, it's the same, but
Yeah.
it's significant, or whatever audio function.
Yeah. So when I come back out here, I'll have to bring the Roadmaster.
Or you talk to Ebo and see what he does, because
He plugs right into his laptop. He's got an input.
in his computer.
Yeah. Yeah, because that's the jack that he uses. I thought that was an input into mine, and it's not. It's a headphone jack.
Fine, thanks, Tommy.
So
Do you have anything from that interview you want cut specifically? I'm gonna grab a couple.
you can put the part where if they don't win it, he thinks Bud's gone,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which
I
is
just,
a little surprising.
interesting.
yeah, I don't see these owners being the whole, hey, you know what? We think we're gonna keep building type of guys. Look how they handled Barry Crew. Look how they, in the first round. But don't forget,
If they lose these next two games, it would only be because the team collapsed.
Yeah.
There's no other reason. They're the more talented team, or an unbelievably devastating injury.
Right.
Like if
Or-
Giannis is gone and they just can't sustain.
Yeah. I mean, where the Suns just go ballistic.
you know, this postseason, yeah,
I
they
don't
swept
see
the
that
team.
happening.
No.
Because the Bucks are beating the hell out of them physically.
And it's not like the Bucks are just zeroing through their opponents. You know, this postseason, yeah, they swept the Heat in the.
I mean, I've always been a Buck critic, but I think he's done a marvelous job.
Mm-hmm.
You know, 2 years ago, blowing the two.
I do think his voice would make for a good like children's bedtime book.
You know, 2 years ago, blowing the 2-0 lead. Last year, I get it. But you got to look at the entire package, and you can't look at it since they got here that they're overly sentimental and long haul type of guys. I mean, you can't look at it as just
Doing this.
Really? So
There it is.
is the you know the conductor with the baton. All the people they're helping the team right now, but they're going to be in trouble down the road. Which I guess doesn't matter if you win a title, but all the pieces are there. The head coach or not is the you know the.
Grab that next page. I did grab him on Drew Holiday. If one of you said.
welcome back. Glad to have you. And the Bill Michaels Show, we continue on. Thanks for hanging out with us today. We certainly appreciate it. 877-867-1670, and the Milwaukee Bucks run continues as the Bucks tonight try to close things out. Tries to close things out. Hopefully they can. Hopefully it's over. Hopefully tonight it all comes to fruition and everybody gets to dance in the streets and celebrate and have a good time. If you want to chime in, 877-867-1670. Go ahead and do it. This one's from Barry. Barry writes in the email inbox, he says, going to be down to Deer District tonight. Will they be serving food outside? I have no idea. Do they serve food outside?
They had, I mean, a bunch of the bars.
I would
are right
assume,
next
like,
to it,
yeah.
but no,
Yeah, they don't like have concession stands outside.
they have some beer stands, but once it gets
Of
to
course.
once it gets within 3 hours of game time, you're not getting a beer.
Of course. Yeah, you're not going to get a beer. You're not going to get one. Ain't going to happen. But they'll sell the beers. How much are they selling them for?
We weren't getting them from the stands. We were sitting at Uncle Buck's,
Okay.
so we were getting it from.
What are they getting
inside.
if you're in the Deer District and you've been down in the Deer District before? What are they getting for beers down there?
I think $5-6 probably.
That's not bad.
No.
That's not bad at all.
It's no Miller Park.
No, because at AmFam they charge what, 12 now? 10 or 12?
Yeah,
Something like that.
a lot.
Yeah. Last I sat in the stands at AmFam Field, I think it was 1050, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm wrong on that, if it's gone up since then, obviously we weren't there last year. That's why I'm trying to remember, because I know it was 12 something out at American Family Fields of Phoenix before COVID hit. It went, I think it was 12 or 1250, what it was for a beer.
I was there.
And there were years, but
Yeah, I was there a couple of weeks ago. It was right around there.
Yeah. 877-867-16 877-867-1670. Let's see here. Paul says, out on the job site, listening to you, and had a question pop into my head. That is, if the Bucks win, how many brothers that have played in the NBA would have rings? Boy, that's a great question. I honestly don't know. We'll have to find that out. We'll track it. This one is from Matty Ice. Says, rumors are that Scott Foster reffing the game. Oh, geez. I don't know. I haven't seen the refs. Usually, there's a couple of different restaurants they hang out at downtown, so a chance to see them when they come into town. But I wasn't downtown at dinner time last night, so I don't know. But you got an answer to Paul's question?
So I believe the only brothers to ever win an NBA title are Pau and Marc Gasol. They did it separately. Pau with the Lakers, Marc with the Raptors.
So they didn't win it together, though.
No, I don't think any have won it together. The two Morris brothers got close, but they didn't do it. So this would be the first together, but the second total.
There you go. Magoo says, I hope that the Big Three play their best game ever, and if so, at the end of the game, the crowd will then be going wild. It would be cool to see all three, Middleton, Drew Holiday, and Giannis, all just going off tonight. I would love, if you're going to talk, and again, we talked about unsungs, and as much as I want to see Bobby Portis bring the energy, I just do. I just like when Portis comes into the game. But if you're going to see somebody else go off, the other guy that I would love to see have a big night would be Brook Lopez. A guy coming to the end of his career, he doesn't have, if this is his last year, if there's more years, say 2 or 3 years down the road, this is his run. If he comes back next year, hopefully the Bucks have another run in him. But you'd love to see him go off tonight too. You'd love to see that. 877-867-1670, 877-867-1670. Splash Mountain, big time tonight. Joe says, morning, Bill, go Bucks. And Jeff, I know we're working on the sound. I get it. And this one's from Mark. Mark says that I would love to see the Bucks tonight bring in Bryn Forbes and have him get hot. When he's hot, no one shoots the ball better. I don't think, well, maybe, who knows, but I don't think Bryn Forbes is one of your keys to the game tonight. I think you've got a very short rotation of guys going for this thing. 877-867-1670. Beers in the Deer District are about half price. Or inside at the Pfizer Forum. He's good luck getting one. Well, so if they're half bad, that's not bad. Are they cans or are they just in the glasses? They just draft. That's not bad then. If you're only paying $6, now it's still sucks compared to, you can get a whole 6-pack or 7. But if you're only paying $6 outside, that's not bad. You can deal with that. Figure they're giving you a break anyway because they just want you down there and buying from them and hanging out with them, and you can't, spend the money to get the inside. So yeah, they're taking care of you on the outside. That's not a bad way to go. I can see it. Let's do this. We'll take a quick break, come back. Today it's all day long. It's all Bucks all the time. Where are you going to be? What you're thinking? How good are you feeling? What's your level of confidence? All of that stuff going on. Stay tuned. We got a lot more of the Bill Michaels Show. It's coming up right after this.
This is the Bill Michaels Show on the Wisconsin Sports Zone Radio Network.
Good bad. So.
You know, this team doesn't win the.
Oh, that's what it is.
I think
Someone didn't cart
him. As if they weren't paying any attention before that. I think he was definitely in a hot seat going to post. As if they weren't paying any attention. I think he was in a hot seat going into the post. You know, this team doesn't win the championship. I think they're starting to look under pressure. And rightfully so. You got the best player in the world, the GM that's going out there and making moves that are helping the team right now, but they're going to be in trouble down the road, which again doesn't matter if you win a title. But all the pieces are there. The head coach, like it or not, is the conductor of the time. He runs the orchestra.
It used to be he did that bit in shorts and an Eric Lindros jersey.
Welcome back. Bill Michaels Show continues on. You know, one of the funny things, I'm sitting here looking at some of the news channels in Milwaukee that are putting out all the street closures, and Juneau and Highland and Old World 3rd Street, 4th Street, all closed up. One of the things they're shooting is the aerial views. The aerial views have not been updated. They still have the Bradley Center there. They don't even show the Fiserv Forum anymore. They're still showing the old McKinley Avenue in the bridge. They're not even showing the Fiserv Forum. So what they do now is they take the Bucks logo and they put that logo, they stick it on the map as if to say, well, here's the Fiserv Forum now. But some of the roads have completely changed since this shot. And who is this? This is TMJ in Milwaukee. And maybe that's the way for everybody. Maybe just the road map is that way still. I can't imagine it is. It's been a couple of years since the Fiserv Forum was built. But yeah, it's they're showing all the closures, and they're showing the closures around the Bradley Center. They don't even show the Fiserv Forum on here anymore. But yeah, Joe, I mean, all the way over Water Street, they're shutting down. Edison Street, they're shutting down, which runs parallel to the river. Old World 3rd Street, they're shutting down. 4th Street, they're shutting down. Everything in that area. Then you're going to have Juneau, Highland, State, McKinley, all being shut down in those areas. All those different streets that surround the Deer District are all shut down. So if you think you're going to get in the area, I guess the nearest place you could possibly go would be maybe Bourne. But I got to imagine like the Hyatt parking structure is going to be completely full. I'm trying to think of the parking structure. They're not even going to let you on Old World 3rd Street, so you can't get to, say, the Usinger parking structure or anything like that. You would have to go north to the Elite, where there's parking around down there in those areas. I mean, you would have to start almost street parking. You could probably go north, or not north, but west to where the old Pabst Brewery is. In those areas, 9th, 10th Street, and walk down. But it's going to be absolutely crazy down there, without a doubt. 877-867-1670, 877-866-1670. If you want to chime in, please feel free to do so. This is from Mark, who wants to know if Kareem and everybody else are going to be in attendance What do you think if Rodgers shows up? I'm not talking Rodgers today, so we're not going to do that. But wouldn't you think that they would? Now, I know, wasn't it Kareem and Oscar? They were in attendance. What was it, like game 3?
Game 3.
Game 3. To see all of those come back. I would love to see all of the guys off of that team that are still around come back to be a part of this tonight. Then again, I mean, put it this way. Don't steal the spotlight. Rodgers could steal the spotlight.
Rodgers would. What if Brandon Jennings shows up?
Put him on the jumbotron and let him say Bucks and 6. Let him. That's what everybody talks about is Brandon Jennings in some way. It was very prophetic in Bucks and 6, but that's back when he played for the team. And Bucks and 6. There you go. 877-867-1670. If you want to hit us up, do so. This is from John. John says, tonight heading down to a couple of restaurants downtown. If I'm south of the city, do you think it'll be crazy? John is coming from Madison. Anywhere downtown is going to be crazy. You're talking about, what is it, 60,000 inside the Fiserv Forum, 20,000 inside. That's 80,000 people that are going to be crowding. Now, you're not bringing 80,000 cars downtown, obviously, but and then think of the bars that are going to be full, the shuttles that are going to be running. It's going to be pandemonium. But I would say, look, go be a part of it. Do whatever you can to be a part of it and just enjoy it, but just expect that it's not going to be an easy in or an easy out. That's it. That's going to be it. 877-867-1670. Jamie says, what do you think of the culture in downtown Milwaukee now? What do you mean the culture? You mean how everybody's come together? I think it's great. You got a winning team. It's been there's been winning sports in Milwaukee and in Wisconsin now for a while. The culture's always been good. So I think it's fantastic. And Kevin says, hey guys, love the program. Not a huge Bucks fan, but certainly have become one over the last couple of months. Thanks for the updates and the insight. That's from Kevin. Kevin listening to us in Johnson Creek. Kevin, you're the man. Appreciate it. Yeah, I think that the way this is all transpired, and now it's not to say that Milwaukee or Wisconsin over any other sporting city is more deserving, okay? But after last year, think about what happened last year to the state of Wisconsin, not just Milwaukee. I'm talking about the state of Wisconsin. You had the Wisconsin Badgers that went on that run at the end of the season. They were going into the Big Ten championship or going into the Big Ten tournament, and the Badger basketball program gets derailed by COVID. The Bucks, best record in the NBA, they were rolling, got derailed by COVID. Then go into the bubble, and things just fell apart. You've got the Packers with a tremendous season, but it was a weird season, and at the end, they ended up getting derailed. You had even like locally in Milwaukee, I've said this time and again, I thought the Milwaukee Admirals were on their way to a Calder Cup championship. They were just that good as a hockey team. Their season got derailed by COVID. Then the Ryder Cup got derailed by COVID. The DNC was supposed to come to Wisconsin. Of all the money and all the things that were going to be happening in Milwaukee, that got derailed. All the financial support that could have come to the state got derailed by COVID. So you're talking about a state that had unbelievable expectations in 2020. To have everything get derailed in the way it did. I'm not saying that Milwaukee or Wisconsin is more deserving, but certainly in some way, shape, or form, this is deserved for what this area was supposed to have versus what they ended up with to now bounce back in this particular fashion and be able to say, hey, maybe after all is said and done, the Bucks win a championship. How great would that be? How great would that be? That would be fantastic. 877-867-1670, 877-867-1670. You want to hit us up, please feel free to go ahead and do so. Good stuff. 2 hours down, 2 hours not to go. Hang in there. Got a lot more of the Bill Michaels Show. It's coming up after this.
This is the Wisconsin Sports Zone update.
The Milwaukee Bucks are just one win away from becoming NBA champions, the first time in 50 years when they welcome in the Phoenix Suns to the Pfizer Forum tonight for an 8 o'clock tip. Giannis Antetokounmpo says he's been for his emotions so far, not get too high, not get too low. There's more from the Greek Freak.
One thing I think I've learned personally in the playoffs, I think early in my career, I was like getting too high, too low. Played a good game, I was so happy. I was getting like too high. When we lost, I feel like it was bored. I feel like this year, lose or win, that did not happen. Like I was the same kind of guy. I just live whatever outcome comes. I believe I'm supposed to be that.
But if the Bucks are to get their title, the first since 1971, Giannis is ready to do it in front of the Pfizer Forum.
Once the game started and we played good basketball, we have the energy of the fans because we know they're going to be loud and we have an opportunity to win the NBA championship. It's going to be amazing for our fans. But there's more steps till we get there. But it's going to be amazing. It's going to be awesome to do it in front of our fans. But the steps to it.
Again, tip-off for Game 6 tonight is at 8 o'clock.
Rural Mutual Insurance is a proud sponsor of the Wisconsin State Fair. As a thank you for your support, they're giving away State Fair tickets. Visit ruralmutual.com/win and enter to win State Fair tickets.
Rural Mutual Insurance, keeping Wisconsin strong.
Originally scheduled at 7:10, the Milwaukee Brewers had shifted their start time against the Kansas City Royals today at American Family Field to 3:10. The Brewers are also flipping their starting pitchers as now Brett Anderson will throw today, Eric Lauer on Wednesday. The Brewers currently sit at 56-39 on the year, 7.5 games above the Reds for first place in the NL Central. For the Wisconsin Sports Zone Network, I'm Evo.
Welcome back. Hour number 3, and it's exciting because the Milwaukee Bucks on the precipice of possibly winning a championship. I don't want to guarantee it, but I'm feeling pretty good about it. This one is from Chuck, who says, I'm a casual NBA fan, but I am interested in the Bucks and hope they win. I have heard that the television ratings were down huge the first few games, largely because there is no LeBron, no large market, et cetera, involved in the series. I personally am enjoying the fact that there is none of the usual, like James or Curry or some of the super teams. It makes the series more entertaining, in my opinion. Chuck, I agree with you. It also does not have a major market. Although, you know what? I can't say that because Phoenix is a big market. Phoenix is a major market. It's what drives the train. It's like when in the NFL, you hope that you've got Dallas or Green Bay or the Giants or Pittsburgh, say the Rams or San Francisco, something like you hope. If you're the Dallas or if you're the NFL, you hope those teams get in. They have huge, huge, huge followings. Even though like a team like Miami is a big city, they don't have as huge a following. Phoenix is a big size city. That's a good size city. But Phoenix, though, is a transient city. Phoenix it's built out of the desert. Nobody just all of a sudden was there in Phoenix. Okay. It wasn't a landing spot. Coasts are landing spots. Those cities are huge, and then everybody infiltrated inward. Whereas Phoenix, that popped up out of the desert. They shipped in water and started growing, and thus to what it is today. But everybody that's in Phoenix came from somewhere else. There's well, I shouldn't say everybody, because there have been people that were born in Phoenix and stayed in Phoenix, but Phoenix is a very transient city. It's kind of like the Carolinas. North Carolina and South Carolina for a while were just really kind of touristy towns. Charlotte and so, and then all of a sudden they started to explode. Nashville, the same thing, started to explode by people that lived elsewhere. They bring in allegiances from other areas. So Phoenix, albeit a huge city, it's not the same as in LA, where people have been there for generations and generations and generations. Same thing with New York, same thing with, say Chicago, same type of thing. But that's the reason that you can kind of see maybe the ratings are down a little bit, because you don't have that LA Lakers, New York Knicks, Boston Celtics, anywhere LeBron is type of vibe, because you don't have that level of city and kind of uniformity when it comes to fandom in those cities. But Milwaukee, strong city. There's a lot of people that are paying attention to the Bucks outside of Milwaukee and outside of Wisconsin, because there is a likability factor to having one of the smallest markets in all of sport in the postseason and in a championship.
These finals are also during like the peak vacation time in the summer.
Correct.
This is never when we watch basketball, so it's leaking into when everyone is tuned out of sports on vacation.
And I think the NBA thought that because there's, other than baseball, you haven't gotten to the Olympics yet. You are past the OTAs, the mini camps. You're in the dead period of football right now. And baseball's in an all-star break, or was coming out of. I think they thought that they would capture all of that lack of anything else viewership. And maybe they're just not getting it. But who knows? Maybe we'll see what tonight brings in the form of viewership. 877-867-1670, 877-867-1670. Hit us up. Track us down over on the Facebook fan page, on Twitter, on YouTube, on whatever it happens to be, Twitch, over on the website. It's all right there for you. The Sports Geek says, I feel it. Bucks by 5. I think the Bucks are going to get the win, and the place is going to go crazy. It's going to be awesome to witness as somebody who has grown up in Wisconsin. Can you understand what it's like for many of us who have never seen a championship here within the state? And we talked about that earlier. There hasn't been one on Wisconsin soil in like forever. I'm trying to think, because growing up as a kid, now in Philadelphia, the Super Bowl was not won in Philadelphia.
The World Series was.
The World Series was with the Phillies, correct. Did the 76ers, back when Dr. J played, they didn't win one at home. What about the Flyers?
They too long ago for me to wear.
I was going to say for them. So when I grew up, the Reds won the championship in Boston in 7 games. The Reds won the championship in New York at Yankee Stadium because they swept the Yankees. I think it was in New York. I didn't go to that series. My mom took me to the series against the Red Sox, but I didn't go to the series against the Yankees. I think they won in New York. And then when they won it again back in 89-90, they won in Oakland, because they went wire to wire that year. The Bengals have never won anything. And then there's the professional teams in that city. So I wasn't there for any of that. So I don't know that I've ever seen a championship won in your home building. So in my lifetime, I've never seen that. I'd have to find out where the Reds, back in 1976, where they beat the Yankees, because they beat the Yankees 4 straight. They swept them. But I have never seen. I can't remember. I don't think they won it at Riverfront. I think they won it on the road in New York. I could be wrong though. But again, it was 1976. I was 10 years old. 877-867-1670, 877-867-1670. But right. I mean, to have it happen in your own backyard, it's going to be fantastic. Absolutely, positively fantastic. If indeed it works out. I don't want to put the cart before the horse. That's if indeed it works out that way. There's a lot to go on between now and then. I don't want to jinx it or anything, but, a lot happening between now and then. So just hold your breath, sit back, relax, and enjoy it. This is from Anthony, who says that tonight I think Bobby Portis has to come up big. He's going to bring the energy off of the bench. And I think the defense is going to reign supreme tonight. Look for Drew Holiday and Portis to have big games. I look at tonight as a couple of different things. One is that you have to see the Bucks sustain in the first few minutes of the first quarter and the first few minutes of the third quarter. That's what I'm watching tonight. Now, teams always go on a run. Okay, great. And hopefully the Bucks, they don't have to be hot, but just be sustainable. Okay? Don't go cold to where you're like, 1 for 24 or 3 for 20, like that. You can't do that. You can't go on some kind of a scoring drought. Otherwise, obviously, the first 3 minutes or 4 minutes of each, the first and third quarter aren't going to matter. But if you're playing good basketball and you sustain in the first 4 minutes of the first quarter and the first 4 minutes of the third quarter, you should be able to go a long way. You should get the win tonight. And the other thing that is going to be really, really cool is going to be watching the Fiserv Forum crowd, both inside and outside, just go absolutely nuts. Just go absolutely, positively nuts tonight. Let's go to the phones. Talk to Stan, listening to us out here in Madison. Stan, how you doing today, man? What's going on? Dan, okay, I'm sorry. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Right. Yep. I'm crossing my fingers. Oh, no, I completely agree with you. Appreciate the phone call. Be fantastic. Be fantastic. 877-867-1670, 877-867-1670. You want to hit us up, feel free to go ahead and do so. 877-867-1670. This is from Jayhawk, who says, hey, guys, listening to the program. He's listening to us up in Mauston. And they got a great quick trip up in Mauston, by the way. He says, heading down to the Fiserv Forum tonight, no tickets. Do you think I'll be able to scalp them on the street? Probably not. I don't think there's anybody going to be standing out in front of the Fiserv Forum tonight that's going to be saying, hey, I got a ticket here. Go ahead and give me $1,000 cash. Because tickets tonight are going for like crazy money. It's like $1,000 just to get in the door, isn't it? A couple of $1,000?
The cheapest ticket was $1,020.
Right. And I know it's a disparity in difference when it comes to money for the tickets, because courtside, mid-court in Phoenix for Game 5, we're going for anywhere from $20,000 to $35,000. In Milwaukee, I think it's like $12,000 to $13,000, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't know. I don't know for sure. I don't know what the money is, but I can't imagine anybody's walking around with a pocket full of cash in the midst of all of those people that you're going to be turning cash over to somebody. You know what I mean? 877-867-1670, 1670. I just can't imagine that somebody be walking around with that amount of cash. But hey, if you think you can do it, go for it. Go for it. Greg says not going to be an easy game. Suns, Bucks against the wall. Suns' backs are against the wall. Those are the tough games to get past. Hopefully no major brawl. I agree. Don't get stupid and don't lose your head. Let's go to Al, listening to us in Janesville. Al, welcome to the program, The Bill Michaels Show. What's up, man? I'm doing well. Yeah. Yep. No, I've always kind of preached that city is very much like Milwaukee. It's a very German, very beer heritage city. A lot of distinct food to that city. No, I completely agree. And let's be honest, they kind of know their place in baseball right now, even though they were the first Major League Baseball team, and there's an arrogance to that. They also know that their team's not very good, and they're realists, and they know that they're chasing the Brewers right now. Yeah. Well, they really thought that when they got to 3 games against the Brewers before the All-Star break, that was the beginning of their run. And then for the Brewers to come in and sweep them like that, you bet. Yep. No, it's a good experience. I love, appreciate the phone call. I love traveling. I mean, when you get a chance to go to St. Louis, I don't like Wrigley as when you go into the historic confines of sitting and watching a game at Wrigley, it is pretty cool. There's a certain arrogance to it. There's already a certain standing that's on that just because of the fans that I've dealt with throughout the years. I love PNC. I love Kauffman Field where the Royals play. I mean, I can go through the list of ballparks that I've been to, but I like traveling around the different ballparks. Dodger Stadium is just, it's in a terrible area, but it's a great atmosphere, even though the fans show up late and they're very dead. They do play rock music and they do play a bunch of DJs spinning music up there, and they kind of pump up the crowd that way. But Petco is an unbelievably beautiful stadium. Coors Field is spectacular. That's a great place to go, especially with the area around Coors Field. But Citizens Bank, been down there a couple of times. And that's just weird because that's in that sports complex down there. So it's not like you have a bunch of bars within walking distance. All the parking is shared by all the stadiums.
Which makes the tailgating scene awesome because people get down there. There are like 15 different parking lots combined. Yeah. So those are all full. But there's one like big structure right in the middle where it's kind of like a beer garden. You have a bunch of bars around this big area of screens. But yeah, it's a tailgating scene more than a bar scene. Yep.
Yeah, no doubt. But like when you go to Coors, it's the opposite because they don't have a ton of parking, but all those old buildings in that area, they've renovated and they've turned them into bars and the garage doors pull up and all that kind of stuff. So it's a pretty cool place. 877-867-1670. Going to go take a quick break. Come back. More of the Bill Michaels Show on this Game 6 in which the Milwaukee Bucks can clinch. Stay tuned. More coming up right after this.
Covering Wisconsin sports like a blanket. This is the Bill Michaels Show on the Wisconsin Sports Zone Radio Network.
Bill Michaels rules in 3 minutes.
Partway through.
I think he was definitely on the hot seat going into the postseason. You know, if this team doesn't win the championship, I think they're starting to look in another direction. And rightfully so. You have the best player in the world. You have a GM that's going out there and making moves that are helping the team right now, but they're going to be in trouble down the road, which I guess doesn't matter if you win a title. But all the pieces are there. The head coach, like it or not, is the conductor with the baton. He runs the orchestra.
Bill Michaels will zoom in 1 minute.
Bill Michaels up.
Bill Michaels will zoom in 30 seconds.
Well, I was asking if you're going to talk about the Mike's being on.
No.
Yeah, that's what
It's like,
I was like, I don't know.
talking about being on for what? The mics weren't on. It was on a live stream. Welcome back to the program. Glad to have you. Hopefully you're enjoying your day. Bill Michaels Show, we continue on. And thanks for following on the live stream, which, by the way, the Bud Light live stream is continuous. That's on a live stream. That's not over the air. Just so we're clear on that. Just so you know. If you want to give us a shout, do so. 877-867-1670. 877-867-1670. Rich writes, look what I wrote 5 years ago on the foundation poll at the Fiserv Forum groundbreaking ceremony. And he put a picture of it up. I just retweeted it. It says Rich, and he's got Bucks 2021 NBA champs. That is prophetic and awesome. Love that. Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. Josh says, if they win tonight, do you think that we talked about this yesterday? When would the parade be? My assumption is it would be on Thursday. That's my assumption. I don't know for sure, but my assumption would be Thursday. You don't want to do it on a weekend, even though you'd have more people that would probably be able to attend, but people have those like weekend plans and such. I think you would want to make it a standalone. So my assumption would be it would be on Thursday. Because you don't wait 3, 4, 5 days, do you? For a championship parade? I think you do it right away. Usually, if a team wins, let's say like a Super Bowl, they did the thing the next day or the day after. Tampa Bay Lightning, they just won the NHL Stanley Cup. They did it 2 days later. So you wouldn't wait to the weekend. You wouldn't want to do it on a weekend. I wouldn't think. Who the hell knows? I don't know. But I would think they would probably do it on Thursday, maybe Friday, during the day on Friday. But I don't think you want to do it. Do the Brewers play a day game on Thursday? Ben, do you know off the top of your head? I can't remember if the Brewers play a day game or a night game. Usually that's a God.
They have an off day on Thursday.
That's what I thought, because it's a 2-game series for the Royals. So if you're going to do it on Thursday, because you don't have anything else going on downtown on Thursday.
Yeah, Friday they're home against the White Sox.
Yeah, because they play Sunday night against the White Sox on ESPN.
Oh.
Finally getting some national recognition.
Yeah, except you have to listen to A-Rod for a night.
Yeah, I know. 877-867-1670, 877-867-1670. The ranting Packers fan says, did you see what Adam Schefter said about Aaron Rodgers? I hope he does not show up at the Fiserv Forum tonight. I would love to have the night standalone for the Milwaukee Bucks. Thanks for the email, by the way. Yeah, we retweeted it, but it's today that doesn't matter. Today is a day of just enjoying Bucks basketball and just enjoying what's going on downtown Milwaukee. I look at tonight's contest and I think we all circulate around Giannis. We all understand what his ability is. What we look for tonight further is that energy that he exudes, the energy that the crowd exudes, to affect the Bucks in a positive light to where they just get in the zone and feel it. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Just get in the zone and feel it. You know? That like I said, you can sit here and say that there's all these different aspects you can analyze of what needs to happen. Look, Booker needs to hit his shots. Chris Paul needs to hit his shots and distribute the basketball. Got to keep Ayton from to get on the boards. And I mean, we can go. But tonight's about energy. Tonight's about playing a full basketball game. It's really cliche tonight. It just really is. 877-867-1670, 877-867-1670. Thomas says the Deer District's going to go nuts if the Bucks win their first final since 1971. That's our buddy Thomas, who hit us up over on the live stream as well. John says, okay, just as the devil's advocate, what if there is a Game 7? Forum in the Deer District, everything's going to be crazy, and all of that energy is going to shift in favor of Phoenix, and you're going to have to overcome it. Now, here's the thing to think about: playing devil's advocate. Okay, as you stated, John, then the Bucks have to come in with the same mindset that Phoenix is coming into this game with tonight, and that is be steady, don't do anything stupid, don't let the crowd take you out of the game, and just play your game. And if you do that, then you have a good shot at winning, because the Bucks could look at that and say, well, look, they came into our house and won, so why not, right? So out of your game. Again, Nikki says, color jersey. They're wearing the black jerseys tonight. Black jerseys tonight. Kyle says, you're right. My assumption is he's talking about if there's a Game 7 and the mentality that the Bucks would have in the situation. But I don't think I'm missing anything here. I think today, like I said at the beginning of the show, today is a day where you sit back. I mean, we're what, 7 hours and like 12 minutes away from tip time, something like that. 7 hours and 32 minutes away from tip time. So just enjoy it. Just enjoy the build. Just enjoy getting there. That's the best way to go. Just enjoy that situation. Nothing new here. 877-1670. Is there anything that we haven't covered, Ben, that you're sitting there going, we haven't talked about this yet?
We haven't mentioned the fact that Monty Williams finally realized that Frank Kaminsky on the court is only helping the Bucks win.
Right.
But aside from that, no. I mean, I
hate to say that because we all love Frank the Tank in this state, but yeah, he has not been.
Oh yeah, I love him. And
of course,
like I want to see him play, but I guess the scenarios where he does play is either the Suns are up big or the Suns are down big, because he's no longer in there to try to,
right,
like win a tie game.
Right.
But no, aside from that, no.
Drew says, what do you think about Dante DiVincenzo? You know what? The injury, we didn't talk a lot about that. I think DiVincenzo's defense would have been extremely solid in this series, but they're still in the position to win without him. They're in the position to win without him going back to the Hawks series and the New Jersey series, I should say.
We talked about that a lot last week, actually, because his absence from this series against this fast and deep Suns team, what it's done is it's pushed Jeff Teague onto the court,
right,
which hasn't gone well when he has played. So his presence would have made this less of a contest.
I thought that was probably the undercovered story coming into this series, was his quickness and ability to guard might have either harassed Booker or Chris Paul, most likely, and really then set things up defensively better for the Milwaukee Bucks. But it's not like they are devastated because Dante DiVincenzo is not on the court. Honestly, have you seen him courtside?
Yeah,
because they only show him, like I saw him once or twice, and that was it. They don't show him too much.
The only reason I've seen him is because every time Mikal Bridges hits a three, the Suns forward, he turns around and points to Dante because they were at Nova together and won the championship. So that's the only time I've seen him, is when Mikal's kind of taunting him in a fun way when he hits a three.
Other than that, you haven't seen too much of him. And you feel for him. I mean, this is a guy that is probably just aching inside not being on the court and going down with the injury at the beginning of the series. Was it the Brooklyn series that he went down? Miami. Okay. That was the beginning of the postseason. Yeah. Okay. Miami. But yeah, I mean, he defensively could have changed things for the Bucks, but I think that's about it. As far as being happy for him, I'm happy that he's going to be able to rehab and come back. I'm happy that the Bucks have been able to sustain without him, but I'm not sitting here overanalyzing the loss of Dante DiVincenzo. And again, this is a team that overcame that loss and 2 games without Giannis to win a series. So as much as you want to maybe discuss that, it's part of the game. There's been a lot of players gone down with injuries, specifically star players that have gone down with injuries this postseason, and teams have had to overcome. And so they lost DiVincenzo and lost Giannis for 2 games and still were able to sustain. So it's right there on the cusp. 877-867-1670. Hit us up, 877-867-1670. Big night for the Bucks. Hopefully they can bring home a championship. Stay tuned. More of the Bill Michaels Show next. Yeah, I guess something out there that somebody posted the comments that I made, but it's like, who cares?
Yeah.
Who cares?
I said when I want to get away for a long weekend, I head to the Four Seasons Island Resort. It's Northeast Wisconsin's best-kept secret, and the amenities include a 9-hole golf course, indoor saltwater swimming pool, sauna, whirlpool, tennis courts, basketball, horseshoe pits, volleyball, and when you're hungry, choose the Bathwater Sports Bar and Grill, Lily's Ice Cream Parlor, or fine dining in the Diamond Room. How about all of that? All Marinette County, 18.
And I went back and listened to it because somebody grabbed the audio right away, and posted it, and it's like, I told this story. Like, who cares? And what's funny is that people that get up in arms about it, they're every day. I'll listen to them every now and then, every day. There's not a time that I have never listened or that I have listened that there's not something said backhandedly about me. So it's like, I don't care. But that's on the air.
Right. Yeah.
Hey, Jay. What up? Yeah, absolutely. Sure, I'd love to. No, they asked me to do that, and right. They asked me to be a part of it. That's the same day as my charity ride. So if there's another date or something else I could do for them, I'd be happy to. Oh, no, great guys. I completely agree with you. Right. And they're veteran owned, and yeah, absolutely. Sure. Yeah. Really? Oh, no. Yeah, I read that. Oh my God, my heart ached for them. Oh, I know. They used to have coffee every morning together. Have you found out? I don't know. Was it an accident or was there like a medical issue? That's what I wanted to know. Yeah, I know. It's a shame. Oh no, right away. Yeah, no, I sent a condolence and I sent flowers. I mean, I don't know what else to do other than show up, obviously. Sure. No, I tell you what, I got to run here in a couple of minutes, but yeah, whatever you need, just let me know. And if you need some items or something like that for donation, I'd be happy to. I mean, I got some stuff that has just come in. You know me, I don't do a lot of collecting of stuff like that. So if something there, I keep that in a closet. And when stuff like this comes up, I always make sure that I've got something to donate. So yeah. Let me know. And if there's anything I can do to help you, I'd be happy to. If you want me to advertise it or help spread the word or whatever, I'm happy to do that too. So, okay. No, great to talk to you. Okay, see you, man. Bye.
Dario's on hold.
Okay, cool.
Bill Michaels will resume in 2 minutes.
This is separate from all of it, but I saw Pat McAfee say that sources told him that the whole country club renewal thing with Rodgers was automatic.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, even from that. It is welcome to have an Aaron Rodgers ESK though. Oh.
Bill Michaels will resume in 1 minute. Bill Michaels will resume in 30 seconds.
Welcome back to the program, the Bill Michaels Show. We continue on, and we are just all Bucks all the time today. There's an excitement that's palpable. I'm watching the Twitter feed of everything that is going on downtown right now, and it's exciting to say the very least. It's just good to see the city so just geeked up. So many different people downtown. There's so many different reporters that I follow on Twitter that are all downtown, and people all over the state. It's not just Milwaukee affiliates. I'm talking people from Wausau, people from Green Bay, people from Madison. I mean, they're all over downtown right now, downtown Milwaukee, as everybody gets ready for tonight's Game 6 between the Bucks and the Phoenix Suns. Dario Melendez of Bally Sports now joining us on the hotline. Dario, how you doing? That would be unbelievably fantastic. I mean, Dario, we have strived in this state for a long time for not only a championship, but now to actually have one possibly happen on home soil. It's like something out of a dream right now. I mean, I know the Badgers won the Frozen Four in Milwaukee years ago, but this is for the Bucks, for a professional team, for the Milwaukee Bucks to win a championship at the Fiserv Forum after all of the consternation over building the Fiserv Forum. Can you even imagine what downtown would be like tonight? So tonight, we've analyzed the hell out of this series for everything that needs to happen. My analysis ability is you got to sustain the first 4 minutes of the first quarter and the first 4 minutes of the third quarter, and provided you don't go completely cold and can't shoot the basketball, you should be able to win just off of the energy of the crowd tonight. So give me your assessment of tonight's game. So, and I love Giannis's thought process when he talks about humility, ego, humble, pride. You get through all of that, and you hope there's a trickle down effect. We all know he's the straw that stirs the drink, without a doubt. But is this something where you have to get out of yourself a little bit and gather your guys to say, let's just stay in the moment? Because if you do that, then aren't you in essence getting out of the moment? You know what I mean? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Talking with Dario Melendez of Bally Sports. So tonight, you want to see the big three of Drew Holiday, Chris Middleton, and Giannis obviously hitting on all cylinders. They can still win if it's just two of them hitting on all cylinders. What you can't have is Middleton and Holiday fade away and put it on the shoulders of Giannis, Brook Lopez, maybe Bobby Portis. You can't do that tonight, correct? Hey, I want to ask you about Brook Lopez. If they win this, do you think he rides off into the sunset? I'm talking with Dario Melendez of Bally Sports. So if you're coaching Phoenix tonight, do you just keep feeding Booker and Paul and hope they get hot and the ability to score, or do you try to come up with something else to try to garner a few more points along the way, whether it's Crowder or Ayton or somebody else coming up, Cameron Payne? I mean, whatever it is you need to do you go to the small lineup? What do you do to try to counter what the Bucks have thrown at you defensively? Always good to talk to you, my friend. Enjoy the night. Stay safe should they win and everybody go a little bit nuts. Hopefully they don't, but hang in there, okay? Talk to you soon. There you go. Dario Melendez joining us on the hotline. A sad note that it is official. Thanasis Antetokounmpo has been ruled out for tonight's Game 6 because of the health and safety protocols. So he will not be with the team. And yeah, that's sad. I mean, not to be able to celebrate with your brother in case you do indeed win the tournament, so to speak. So, postseason tournament. But Thanasis, I'm sure, will be there in spirit, and I'm sure Giannis is kind of feeling a little bit heavy because his brother's not going to be able to be there. But yeah, Thanasis Antetokounmpo ruled out tonight for Game 6 against the Phoenix Suns. Let's do this. We'll go ahead and take a quick break. Stay tuned. A lot more of the Bill Michaels Show. Another hour still yet to go. 10 minutes-ish yet to go. Hang in there. We'll be back right after this.
This is the Bill Michaels Show on the Wisconsin Sports Zone Radio Network.
Bill Michaels will resume in 3 minutes.
My only key to this game is controlling your emotions.
Oh, okay.
I was about to come over, and I was like, oh, I think he might be at the end of his break, but I'll catch him. And right when you're like, welcome back, I'm like, I'm
Oh, it's no
grabbing
big
the
deal.
door.
You can come in anyway. Rick Bucher says, I'm happy for the Bucks and their fans that Giannis stayed, but having him in a bigger market would infinitely be better for the NBA.
What an ass. I think this is great for the NBA because it shows you that you don't need to get Durant and Harden and Kyrie all on the same massive market team to win.
Well, the thing about those three in Brooklyn is they were banged up all song.
Oh, yeah.
So to now claim, well, had they been together, I get it, but they were not together all season long.
Or just in general, I was saying in general, the idea of Kevin Durant joining the Warriors, it's like Giannis' success could point to other dudes being like, you know what?
Right.
Like, I want to make my roots somewhere, have that be my franchise.
Yep.
Yeah.
Not that Coach Bud wanted his team to lose, but he wanted to put his team in position to have to fight their way out of it. Because past the regular season was so darn easy that there was never adversity for this team.
And Dario on the key being controlling emotions.
Think about where the Packers were when Ron Wolf took over. And had he not brought in Reggie and Brett.
What exact year was that?
92?
Early 90s.
Yeah. So had he not brought them in and had they not won a championship, I don't know if they get the Brown County tax passed. And I don't know if the Packers are still in Green Bay.
Really?
I know that when I was with Bob Harlan that night, he was genuinely nervous. And I asked him, I said, so what happens if this doesn't pass? What's plan B?
Yeah.
And he looked at me and he was honest. He said, Bill, I don't have a plan B.
Wow.
I don't know what we're going to do.
I mean, that's all before my time. I knew about like the Bucks whole thing, and I took a class with Bud Selig last year, so I learned about the whole timeline of the Brewers.
Yeah.
I just figured the Packers were always like that stable. Yeah. Wow. I mean, it's crazy what success does.
Glad to have you. Welcome back. And here's a thought. And Matt, you just hit me up on Twitter, and I appreciate this because I love it when a tweet makes me think. Matt said, Giannis saved the city, meaning Milwaukee, to be honest. And I thought about that for a minute. And I go back to the early 90s. Bob Harlan makes the move and brings in Ron Wolf, who then brings in Reggie White and Brett Favre. Had they not had success, had Reggie White and Ron Wolf and Brett Favre not come here and had that success, I don't think the Green Bay Packers are here today. I think they're in another market. And I know that that offends a lot of fans, but I remember, I was just talking to Ben about this off the air. I remember the night of the Brown County vote. I was in Green Bay. I was with Bob Harlan. And I had done an interview with him. And we're off the air, and I'm off the mic. And I'd said to Bob, I said, so what happens if this just doesn't work? You know, what's plan B? And Bob looked at me with this almost scared look. I don't want to say scared because that might not be the best word, but extremely concerned, we'll say. And Bob looked at me and said, there isn't a plan B. I don't have a plan B. This has to work. And I think there was a genuine concern that they would have never expressed publicly, but that there was a concern that how you were going to sustain a football franchise in Green Bay. Now, I think the NFL would have stepped in and other teams would have stepped in to save Green Bay, but I think they also would have stepped in with the stipulation of, hey, you better get something done or we can't just continually pay for a small market team to remain viable, even though the NFL knew that Green Bay meant so much to the NFL because it comes down to dollars. We all know that. Now you fast forward and you think about the Milwaukee Bucks, and the Senator selling the team, and one of the stipulations being you must keep it in Milwaukee. And there's always riders to that. There's always exceptions to the rule. You don't know specifically what all of those are, but they kept the team in Milwaukee. And then after that, they put the full court press on, pardon the pun, to keep the Fiserv Forum or to build the Fiserv Forum and to destroy the Bradley Center, a building that was gifted to the city by the Pettit family, and say, well, we're going to take taxpayer dollars. We're going to do this. This is the benefit that you're going to reap. And this is what we want to build, and we want to work towards a championship. And at the time, there was a lot of eye rolling, like, yeah, okay, yeah, right. You know, like this team's ever going to win a championship. And I remember people coming up and saying that. And then, you know, obviously the success as a young kid coming into the league. Thank God John Hammond had the foresight to draft Giannis. But drafts Giannis, they start to see success and you start to look over the fence and say, you know what, there's a possibility here. And then the Fiserv Forum is built and the rest is history. Now, Giannis didn't save, he might have saved the Bucks. He didn't save Milwaukee because Milwaukee had gone through its own battle through the 5 counties for a long period of time when it came to Miller Park and keeping the Brewers viable. So they still had, Milwaukee still had, and the state still had that professional sports team there. But to save the Bucks and to keep this amount of money downtown, boy, that's when you think about moments in history that could change dramatically and make things drastically. About the presence of Reggie White, Brett Favre, and Giannis Antetokounmpo. Think about the foresight of Bob Harlan. Think about the foresight of the Senator, Senator Cole. And think about the foresight of Bud Selig to keep those teams viable in the state of Wisconsin. Man, that's pretty deep right there on a night that you could possibly be looking at a championship. But these are things that if you take a minute, if the Bucks, if time winds down and zeros fill the scoreboard, and the score for the Milwaukee Bucks is a point or more higher than the Phoenix Suns tonight, and the championship is in Milwaukee, think about that timeline for just a minute to realize where we were to where we are, because it's very, very real. Another hour yet to go. Hang in there. More of the Bill Michaels Show right after this.
the past two regular seasons were so darn easy that there was never any worse games. My own
Dario, on controlling the emotions and how God kind of manufactured adversity to affect the team.
Well, if the Bucks are to get their title, the first since 19. Again, tip-off for Game 6 tonight is at 8 o'clock.
Want to save even more at Fleet Farm? Well, now you can with Fleet Rewards. It's free to sign up, and there's no credit card required. Using Fleet Rewards is easy. Earn points every time you shop. Plus, get exclusive member offers, birthday and anniversary perks, free tire rotations, and more. Download the Fleet Farm app or create an account at fleetfarm.com/rewards to start earning points today. Fleet Farm, proudly serving the Midwest since 1955.
Originally scheduled at 7:10, the Milwaukee Brewers had shifted their start time against the Kansas City Royals today at American Family Field to 3:10. The Brewers are also flipping their starting pitchers as now Brett Anderson will throw today, Eric Lauer on Wednesday. The Brewers currently sit at 56-39 on the year, 7.5 games above the Reds for first place in the NL Central. For the Wisconsin Sports Zone Network, I'm Evo.
Welcome back. Glad to have you. Hopefully you're enjoying your day. Appreciate it very much for hanging out with us. Final hour of the Bill Michaels Show. And the Bucks coming up tonight, taking on the Phoenix Suns. All Bucks all the time. We were kind of waxing before the top of the hour about where all of this has come from. And I'm not talking about the Bucks as far as on the court, but I'm just thinking about where the Bucks were to where they are. And it was a very real possibility that Seattle could have had this team. You know what I mean? And now we sit here today and you kind of it makes you sit back and go, wow. If you are one of the people that were dead set against the Bucks, where you were one of those people that said, let them leave, who cares? Have you changed your tune? I'm not sitting here today to tell you I told you so, because you still might have your legitimate reasons. But have you changed your tune to see what's throughout the state? Eric says at Kohl's, they sell a lot of Bucks gear. I'm sure it brings in a lot of fans. It has meant more to my bottom line. Thanks for the Milwaukee Bucks for sticking around. And that got us thinking a while ago, and I had a tweet, as I had mentioned, that said Giannis has saved Milwaukee. And these are just things where you kind of think, you know? I had mentioned going back to Bob Harlan and his foresight, and knowing that there was a genuine concern about the Packers had it not been for the passing of the Brown County tax. You wonder what would have happened to the Packers had that not passed. Had Brett Favre and Reggie White not had success, not kind of brought the title back to Titletown, brought pride back and such. But let's say the 80s and the losing would have sustained. Do you think people would have been so quick to say, let them go? I really believe that the NFL would have stepped in, because as George House years and years and years ago knew via the Chicago Bears that the rivalry and the Packers were good for the NFL. So I don't believe as much that the NFL would have just let the Green Bay Packers walk away. I think there would have been some kind of help before this team. They would have had another option somewhere down the road. There would have been a lot of discussion before the Packers would have just walked away from Green Bay. But as I sit here today and I think, where would we be had some smart people not figured out you need the Milwaukee Bucks around for not just the Milwaukee area, but for the state as well? You know, boy, that would have been, think about where this team would been. Think about had you been rooting for the Seattle Supersonics all over again. You know what I mean? It just where we were to where we are. It's fantastic. Tyler says over on Twitter, I still remember many people who wanted to say, let the team go to Seattle. They have nothing for us here. I'd love to see what they're saying now. And so Han says having the Milwaukee Bucks in Wisconsin is another reason to make fun of Iowa. Yeah, I don't make fun of Iowa. Come on, man. But, I mean, think about what is going on right now. And it's not just in Milwaukee. You know, as we've heard from people all over the state, we got people from La Crosse that are going to the Deer District tonight. They're buying gas. They're renting hotel rooms. They're heading downtown. They're going to probably eat at one of the local establishments. They're spending money. They wouldn't be doing that tonight. Deshaun writes, coming down from Black River Falls. Just want to be a part of the fun. Brady, who wrote me a little while ago in the email inbox, he says, going to the Brewers game today and then heading over to the Fiserv Forum in the Deer District. I just want to be a part of this pandemonium. By the way, Brady is coming down from Wausau. So it's just, where would they be? You know? Eric, you're right. That's what I mentioned, that George Halas realized what the Green Bay Packers meant to the NFL, bailed out the Packers and Curly Lambeau back in the 1990, 1920s to keep Green Bay alive. There's a lot of history there, right? 877-867-1670. What do you got? Oh, okay. I thought Ben was going to say something. I don't want to cut you off. By the way, Rick Bucher, for those that follow Rick Bucher, NBA writer, he says somebody came after him and said about apologizing. So Giannis staying in Milwaukee was bad for the NBA. He said, do you want to apologize for that? He said, I should apologize because of what? He said, are the ratings up? Basically going back to the ratings. He says, do they reflect how exciting this series has been and how well Giannis has played? He said, I told you Giannis would stay in Milwaukee. He said, I'm happy for Bucks fans that he did. But having Giannis in a bigger market would be infinitely better for the NBA. Still dying on that hill. Rick Bucher saying that this is great, but it'd be better for the NBA if Giannis was not in Milwaukee, if he was in a big market. Oh, well. Glad he is. Glad he's here. 110%. Cornelia says, I'm one of the naysayers. It did not feel that it was good for the NBA to take money from us fans and put it into their own pockets. We have high-dollar owners, billionaire owners, as he says, that should have built it themselves. However, I am glad the Milwaukee Bucks are in Wisconsin. It wasn't a matter, and I don't want to go back on this a lot, but it wasn't a matter of whether or not they'll spend money here or they'll spend money somewhere else. It was a matter of who's willing to buy them. You know, the old adage in making money is don't spend your own money. And they did. The senator did, they did, the taxpayers did. It was kind of a trifecta, if you will. And it wasn't a matter of will they be spending money here or will they be spending money in Seattle? It was a matter of will Milwaukee spend the money to keep them here or will Seattle spend the money to take them away? And the state of Wisconsin did what they needed to do to step up and keep the Bucks here. And it's great. It's paying off. It's paying off. And I'm glad it did. Did you ever go through anything like that when you were growing up in Philadelphia, Ben?
No.
Like how did Citizens Bank Park and Lincoln Financial, because everything got built via taxpayer referendum, didn't it?
Well, they were all built around 2004.
Right.
I was 5 years old.
Okay.
So I was
you don't remember that?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I was too young for all of it. I remember people getting mad when the old stadiums were demolished, just because of the history.
Right.
But I don't think it was much of a problem because I think everybody in Philadelphia would give up their entire paycheck for like more stuff for their sports.
When they demolished, if I'm not mistaken, it was when they demolished the old vet, they blew that up, right?
Yeah.
Okay. But because the vet was where they played both baseball and football, which was a terrible surface. Do they still have the old Forum? They got rid of that too now, right?
Well, they demolished that in favor of the new one.
Right. Okay. So that's all gone. So the Forum, I don't think they imploded that. I think they just knocked it over. Am I correct? It's kind of like the Bradley Center. They just knocked it over. They took it apart piece by piece and knocked it over. I remember when County Stadium went, and there was some sentimentality going, the old days and the movie Major League, and there was a lot of sentimentality to it. But I don't think anybody went, oh my God, I can't believe they're getting rid of it, because that thing was a dump. I mean, as cool as it was to sit outside and watch baseball and all that, I get it. But it was corroding from within. They had to get rid of that thing. It was just falling apart. And there wasn't a whole lot of people some people were like, good riddance. Can't wait for the new ballpark to be done. So I remember when they got rid of, Riverfront Stadium. They had hosted World Series and won series and championships. So, I mean, but that place was antiseptic. And they hosted both the Bengals and the Reds. It wasn't like blowing up Yankee Stadium, or if they would ever get rid of Wrigley or get rid of Fenway, I mean, as these iconic places. So, but that would be like if, say, they ever decided to build a new stadium and knock down Lambeau. Lambeau, that's historic. That is just storied in so many different ways. But yeah, I knocking over County Stadium was not wept by many. Let's put it that way. 877-867-1670. Our buddy Tim from Sparta on the line. Tim, how you doing, man? What's going on? Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Mm-hmm. Right. Right. And thank God it still is the way it is. I know some people get frustrated with the ownership structure of the Packers, or the management structure of the Packers. But think about all the knee-jerk reactions that we've witnessed from owners around the NFL. And here they move at times frustratingly like an iceberg, but they also don't overreact. You know what I mean? Right? Yep. Otherwise, you could be the home of Johnny Manziel. All right, buddy. Talk to you soon. Let's go back to it. Let's talk to Jeff, listening to us here in Madison. Jeff, how you doing today, man? What's up? Yep. Right. There you go. And hopefully everybody listening to the program gets out of your way and out of that left-hand lane. I'm a big proponent of, hey, if you've got somebody in your rearview mirror that's closer than 3 car lengths, you need to get the hell over. There you go, buddy. Talk to you soon. That's like a PSA statement right now. That's my public service announcement to you. And everybody that's ever listened to the program knows that is one of the biggest pet peeves I ever have. And I was coming out to Madison today, so I'm traveling west on 94. Got a couple of cars behind me. I absolutely practice what I preach. If there's somebody going faster than you, it doesn't matter if they're speeding or not. Could be on their way to the hospital because somebody they know just ended up very, very ill. I always get over. I always get over. If I'm somebody that's driving pretty fast, and sometimes I do. Sometimes I have an occasion to break the speed barrier, but for the most part, I always try to get out of that left-hand lane. Oh my goodness, 94 is a juggernaut. It's like running a gauntlet, for God's sakes. 877-867-1670. My buddy Dwayne says, I have a great feeling about tonight. Players just need to play within themselves and don't press. Be confident and don't let Phoenix get any momentum. I'll text you later and try not to swear. That's our buddy Dwayne that owns Dwayne's Cover there in Wausau. He's got great boat cover, upholstery covers, canvas coverings, whatever it happens to be. He does that all up there. Speaking of great sponsors, we got a friend called the Nice Ash down in Waukesha. Tremendous people there, 323 West Main Street. If you're going to go look to watch the game tonight, maybe have a celebratory cigar, by all means do it. And we couldn't be anywhere without our great friends from Quick Trip, your official convenience store of summer. Stop in and get yourself registered to win that Corvette Stingray. Oh, my God, that thing's beautiful. But they still have the lowest legal beer prices on your favorite 24 and 30 packs all summer long, including our good friends from Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the Bill Michaels Sports Talk Network. Don't forget about our friends over there at Quick Trip. Stay tuned. We got more of the Bill Michaels Show coming up next.
This is the Bill Michaels Show on the Wisconsin Sports Zone Radio Network.
What up? Did you find anything?
Yeah. It was this goofy. I added a PC thing right here.
Right.
Which I don't think you ever used.
No.
So I took it out.
Okay, cool.
And it stopped the hum.
Cool. Yeah, I was always wondering what the hell it was.
Jeez. I don't know if it was too close to the Ryzen card or something, and the noise was coming through there or whatever.
Okay.
Got rid of it.
Cool. Awesome, man. Thanks. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. Chris and Madison on the Bucks.
Okay.
How about that point on Booker and Chris Paul and complaining? I think the Bucks have gone through the gauntlet of the NBA's all-time complaining list.
Oh yeah,
Trae Young.
Yeah.
Harden. That was a great call, though. It's tough. There are times when you're at home or wherever where, like, I don't know, you'll be like going to audio or anything because you obviously can't see me and what I'm doing. And sometimes calls come in, but I can't like leave. I don't know whether you're going to break or whatever.
Right.
They go grab them during like certain times.
You can't answer them in here?
I'm able to on here, but the problem is like there's so many sounds coming in, like they could hear this whole thing going around.
So we don't actually have a handset in here. You got to get up.
No. I'm able to, but it's tough to talk to them because I have you playing there or on my headphones.
Okay.
Yeah. But it works.
It would be better if you actually had a handset you could pick up.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll make a note of that.
Yeah, I mean, also when the lines do blow up, it's for like certain topics. There are times also when no one's calling in about the Brewers or something, I mean, it mostly has to do with the Packers. Shoot, what did I say that guy's name was? Mitch.
Greg?
I think Mitch. Totally lost it. Sorry, what's your name? Chris.
Gotcha. Oh God, the bandwagon jumper that Colin Cowherd says that Giannis has the GOAT conversation.
I love Colin Cowherd. I always have, just because of how good he is at what he does, while also, he's one of the national talking hot take artists. I've always appreciated how he's able to deliver what he's saying. But yeah, whatever. He was talking yesterday about whether the Bucks are the next dynasty.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, cool.
He does the ambulance chaser topics though.
Yeah.
It's like, come on.
Yeah.
That's like when the Cubs I was listening to Cubs Talk Radio and they're saying this is a dynasty that's built for 7 championships. I'm like, you haven't won one in over 100 years. Just enjoy one for the moment.
I just
it's
like how
so
he
hard.
Presents,
Right.
All right, we're going on.
Glad to have you back. Hey, our friends over at New Mel Medical want to let you know that they have been helping guys for a long time and all throughout the great state of Wisconsin. They're the original at treating guys with ED, and others have come along and tried to impersonate or replicate or duplicate, impersonate, so to speak, what it is they do. But they're number one, and they're the best, and they've been doing it the best, and they're medical experts. The medical experts they have helping guys with ED. And they've got a 98% success rate. They've been doing it a long time, and they're just good. Call my buddy Carlos or Dr. Tim or anybody over there. I mean, they're just such good people, and they get it. And whether it's ED, something you don't want to talk about, or if they have low energy, brain fog, feeling sluggish, moody, whatever it happens to be for low T treatments, they understand that. The all-in-one weight loss program. Maybe you're midsummer right now, and you're going to be bouncing around down at the Deer District, and you got the jelly belly happening, and you're just like, man, I just want to lose some weight and feel better. I want to be able to walk 5 blocks without feeling like I'm having a heart attack. Call them, 414-455-4451. They have locations in Milwaukee and in Green Bay. One phone number, 414-455-4451. That's 414-455-4451. That's the New Mel Medical Center. Just give them a shout, 414-455-4451. Back to the phones. Let's talk to Chris, listening to us out here in Madison. Chris, welcome to the program, The Bill Michaels Show. What's going on, man? I'm doing well today. Excited about tonight. How about you? All right. No, appreciate it, man. Talk to you soon. By the way, now you just sent me this, Ben. The towing has begun. They're closing down the Milwaukee area. By the way, they have tow trucks down there. And the other thing, they have security down there. The one thing you don't realize for something like this on this ginormous stage is they have a really high level of precaution. So if there's trucks, panel trucks, vans, cars that are left down there, they're parked down there, they don't appear to have an owner, anybody around them, you hate to think the worst, but you have to think the worst to prevent the worst. So they're towing anything and everything out of the downtown area right now, towing it all out. And if you're going to have this kind of a celebration, rightfully so. My buddy Wayne says, did you see the post regarding Colin Cowherd, one of the talk show hosts, and talking about Giannis? And this is, and my assumption is you're talking about him calling him in the conversation for the GOAT. Wayne, if that's what you're talking about, this is, and Ben, you and I are sitting here talking because you listen to Colin Cowherd, okay? And he can have, when he puts takes together, he puts his research together and does one take and then can do a whole show on it. And he'll have the stats to back it up, as I think we all do. We all have an opinion, and we all try to bolster our opinion to where we can argue sensibly what we're trying to say to make the most sense, to have people agree or disagree. But at this point in time, to put Giannis in the GOAT conversation, now 2 MVPs, Defensive Player of the Year, and he's on the cusp of winning a title, his first ring. I think if we're going to talk about GOAT, he would have to end up with at least 4 more rings, 3 or 4 more rings. Am I not mistaken?
Oh, yeah.
Maybe another MVP or 2. And to do it in Milwaukee. Do it all in Milwaukee. Because you can't then be transient and say, well, I'm going to take my talents to South Beach. Well, I'm going to go to LA. And go to the big markets where it's easy to recruit. I think what's going on right now with Giannis and John Horst and Coach Budenholzer and the way they've constructed this team, I think it's good for the NBA because Giannis didn't have to team up with Durant. He didn't have to team up with Chris Paul. He didn't have to bring in Kyrie. He didn't have to do that. He and a supporting cast are about to win a championship, or at least on the cusp of winning it. And I think this is great for the NBA. Now, the rest of the world may not agree with us as Milwaukeeans or as Bucks fans or Wisconsinites or what have you. But I think this is good for the NBA.
It's also great because Giannis is such a marketable star.
Right.
Like, even though he doesn't play in LA, the NBA doesn't need a big market to market him like as a star and as someone that any NBA fan can get behind and like.
It's when they talk about marketability, well, he would, be far more marketable if he was in New York. Do you not think the world is seeking him out right now?
Oh, yeah. And I mean, I would argue that he's the most likable player and personality in the NBA right now. Like, you hear him talk and you can just gravitate towards his personality and what he puts into his game and what he has put into his game since he came over and got to the NBA.
I remember he was extremely choosy. Brett Favre was unbelievably choosy about what he wanted to do. Remember, he came out and he started doing the MasterCard commercials years and years and years ago. And he was making a gob of money for it. And one of the things, and this goes back to even when I was doing the show, the postgame show with his dad, Irv, and we had talked about that. And Irv said, in Irv's tone, blankety blank blank, Brett's got those people calling all the blank in time. If you're good and you're a superstar, they don't care where you're at. They're going to come and find you because you're going to become a legitimate superstar marketable person. You're bigger than the city that you reside in. So I'm not worried about Giannis leaving for marketability. Put it this way, if he's the poster child for, they're now getting primetime games. They're now getting the ESPNs of the world and the ABCs and the TNTs and all that stuff that are coming in. And it's not Milwaukee against Phoenix. It's Giannis against Chris Paul. That's the stars. It's the likable Giannis against State Farm. That's what it is. That's what people know. And for those that don't care about the NBA, they only know Chris Paul from the State Farm commercials. They're like, oh, he plays in the NBA. They couldn't tell you he played for the Phoenix Suns, that he's moved around. Giannis is synonymous with Milwaukee. So this whole thing about he needs to be in a big market to make it better for the NBA, no. I think this is just the opposite. I think it would be great if he was in a big – what they're talking about is if he's in a big market, more people from that big market are going to be watching the NBA. Therefore, the NBA overall can charge more for viewership because they're getting more eyes on a superstar in a large market. And that's what ultimately the NBA overall would want. It's money. But as far as popularity goes, I think Giannis is – do you think people in New York don't know who Giannis is?
Oh, they do. And, I mean, the biggest part for the NBA, the more stars and the more of these guys like Giannis that win, the better it is for them.
Right.
Because then they can show their games the next year. They could talk about them as, like, big-time stars and faces of the league. If you only have LeBron winning every year, then how are you going to sell a Bucks, even Bucks Suns in, like, February?
I think it's good for the NBA. I don't think this is anything detrimental at all. But to talk about Giannis being the GOAT at this point, that there's such necessity to all of a sudden jump on that bandwagon and say, here's what it is. And I, for one, and I know that, if you are a Bucs fan, you're thinking to yourself, boy, if they won it this year, they could do it again next year. Who's going to make moves and what other piece are they going to bring in and what can they do? I get all of that. But at this point, and I'll say the same thing to Bucs fans that I said to Cubs fans, you haven't won a championship in a long time. Now, the Cubs, it was over 100 years. The Bucs, it's 50. Just enjoy this for the moment. You haven't won it yet, but when you do, just enjoy it. Let's not worry about what's going to happen again next year. They're still going to be good. They're going to be barring mass injury, they're going to be a postseason team. There's no doubt about that. Let's just worry about the here and the now. 877-867-1670. Hang in there. A lot more of the Bill Michaels Show. 2 big segments left to go as we get you ready for the Bucs coming up tonight. Stay tuned. We got more coming up right after this.
Covering Wisconsin sports like a blanket. This is the Bill Michaels Show on the Wisconsin Sports Zone Radio Network.
Gina Della from Pella, working hard.
Cramming for finals.
Final exams, Gina? I thought school's out.
It's the final days.
I used to watch Coward like every day, though. Like, I would consider myself a fan of his. But I take it with a grain of salt, obviously.
Yeah.
Like, it's
I'm not a
entertaining.
huge fan, only the fact that some of the things that he has said have been so outrageously biased from West Coast. It drives me nuts.
Yeah.
And
confirms Wisconsin.
And it's kind of like I worked with a guy once who would come on the air and say, Barry Larkin's not playing today because he's black, and just drive the phone lines crazy. And you knew that wasn't true.
Right.
And it's hard to work that way.
You can afford the windows and doors you really want.
Time to ace that final.
Set your free consultation today at PellaWI.com/radio or call 855-PELLA-WI.
Service supplies and show for details.
Bill Michaels in 5 minutes.
Paul from Marinette, Wisconsin, about the GOAT comment.
Okay.
It's funny getting all these calls because obviously the show is broadcast everywhere. I'm now looking at the geography of where every city is. Whenever I hear somewhere new,
Right.
I look up where it is. Someone called from Alaska, and I thought,
Oh, that's awesome.
They were calling from the state of Alaska.
No.
I was very surprised. That's the most transported. Yeah, I've always just loved Coward as someone who's listened to talk radio and watched everything for my whole life. I just like how he's able to present what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Just in terms of like appreciating that art. While I don't agree with some of it, like his delivery is very effective. Do you want to go back into the interviews at all?
We can bring up the Dario Melendez thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was good. He said that a couple of weeks ago too, when during the Nets series, I think it was.
Yeah.
Talked about how Bud did a great job of not putting his team in positions of adversity, but making sure that they were able to overcome things instead of just coasting. I think it was a really good point.
Boy, the internet, I don't know if it's the computer or what it is. It's crazy.
So Wade just called in and said Colin Cowherd thing was actually talking about how Giannis and his humility and all that stuff is a perfect anecdote to LeBron and how important small market teams are. So I don't know if it was the comparison.
Yeah, if you just Google real quick Colin Cowherd, and that's the first thing that pops up.
Yeah. But I don't think it was trying to put him in the conversation necessarily. Yeah, he's talking about Tim Duncan and Giannis. He's loyal, humble, and gracious, and great on both ends of the floor. Yo, I'll call you in like 30 when I finish. I don't know. Let me call you in like 30 minutes, an hour. I know. No, who would have imagined? Yeah, let me call you when I'm done. Please. It's my friend whose dad grew up in Milwaukee, but he's from LA, and he just booked a last-minute flight to get here for tonight.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know logistically, like, my two friends and I couldn't make it down there in time.
What's the guy's name on hold? Paul. Okay. Just checking.
Yeah. You're back on.
Welcome back to the program. A couple of segments before we get out of here. Hey, if you're looking for a fun weekend, if you're going to do some celebrating, as hopefully the Bucks pull down a trophy, the Larry O'Brien Trophy, and you want to go just kind of get away and let all those emotions just drain out and just enjoy yourself and sit back and relax, do it at our friends at the Four Seasons Island Resort on the Miscano Island up there in Pembine, Wisconsin. Beautiful place. Beautiful, beautiful scenery. The ATV trails are open and all Marinette County rides going on right now. And in addition to that, you can also play the 9-hole golf course that's on the island, or you can go up to Timberstone Championship Golf Course. You can do that. That's Pine Mountain Resort, by the way, their sister resort. You can go check out the Diamond Room. You can just swim in the giant saltwater indoor pool that they have. They have the spa, the sauna. If you want to make a date to go down to the spa and get a massage or something like that, you can do that. I mean, there's so much to do up there, and it's just naturally beautiful. Give our friends a call. Get a hold of Barb and ask for whatever the special is for when you say you heard it here on the Bill Michaels Sports Talk Network. 715-324-5800. 715-324-5800. Again, 715-324-5800. And get a hold of Barb and just say, hey, look, I want to come up, and I would like whatever the special is. Bill Michaels sent me. And it could be anything from $10 off your room. It could be a bottle of wine. It could be some dinner, whatever it happens to be. They're always doing something really cool, and specifically for the listeners of this program. So again, call them 715-324-5800. That is the Four Seasons Island Resort. The Four Seasons Island Resort up in beautiful Pembine, Wisconsin. Let's go back to the phone calls. Talk to Paul. Paul, welcome to the program, the Bill Michaels Show. What's up, man? I'm doing wonderfully. What's on your mind? There's a lot of people that do that. There's a lot of people in the business that do that. They take point, counterpoint, and they just say something crazy to just incite people. Correct. Yes. Right. Mm-hmm. Right. Right. Yep. Right. Sure. No, I agree. We were just talking about that, and Colin Cowherd, one of the other things that he had said, and again, when people say, "Have you heard what Colin Cowherd said?" He said so much, but he also had talked about the difference between a guy like LeBron and a guy like Giannis. Giannis staying humble, Giannis being very likable, Giannis being a hard worker both ends of the floor. Doing a lot of the little things that make you likable and kind of that Midwestern wholesomeness, so to speak, as opposed to some of the things that LeBron has done and said and the prima donna attitude. And you kind of got to swallow that pill when LeBron walks through the door. You know you're going to be better, but what are you sacrificing for better versus a guy that wants to make everybody around him better and rise the franchise and the city up on his shoulders as well? I think LeBron did that early on when he wanted to go back and play for Cleveland and give Cleveland a championship. And I give him credit for that. But LeBron has become a caricature of what he used to be as far as, kind of the city that he grew up and loved and such versus where he is today. But no, I get what you're saying. Mm-hmm. No, you got to respect the fact that he always stood true. And now his demand was, hey, make sure that this team is still striving for a championship, and I'll stay. But if you're just going to kind of rest on your laurels and some of the things that have gone on in the past, and I don't know necessarily that I want to be a part of it, but he kind of gave them he threw the gauntlet down. He said, here you go. Now what are you going to do with it? And they responded. So I give credit to both sides. Yep, no doubt about it. Appreciate it, man. Talk to you soon. As much as you would like Game 7, winner take all, buzzer beater, last second shot, to me, I want to see them win it at home. I want to see the crowd go crazy. I want to see the fans outside go nuts. I want to see the visions of the Deer District. I want to see, the party in the streets. I want to see all of that. I want to see a championship won in Wisconsin. So that's what I want to see. 877-867-1670, 877-867-1670. If you want to get a hold of us, do it. We got another segment of the program coming up. Stay tuned. We got a lot more to go. By the way, I also want to say hi to our friends. If you're downtown, a great sponsor of the program, San Giorgio, Milwaukee's only Napolitana Pizzeria, the Old World 3rd Street area. So if you're heading down before or after the game, that is a great place to head off to. Also, don't forget to say hi to our friends at Epoxy Flooring Done Right. Sean and the gang doing it for Wisconsin business owners, homeowners, industrial, all throughout the great state of Wisconsin. Big Bucks fan as well. Get a hold of our buddy Sean, 262-443-2852. Lifetime warranty. Lifetime warranty. All of this stuff. 262-443-2852. Tell Sean we said hello. And one other place, and that's Milwaukee Brewing, MKE Brewing, 9th Street, downtown Milwaukee. If you're going to go maybe do a viewing party, if you can't get into the Deer District, I'm giving you a little hint. Walk up the hill, go to 9th Street, go inside. They have a restaurant right next door. Go into the restaurant, go into the MKE Brewing, and they have a beautiful rooftop patio that overlooks the Fiserv Forum. Go up there. You can watch the game, enjoy yourself. So you're near it, but you're not in it, if you know what I mean, but still right in that area. So a great place to go. And that's on 9th Street, 1128 9th Street, right there in downtown Milwaukee, right by the old Pabst Brewery. Another terrific place. We wrap things up next on the Bill Michaels Show.
Covering Wisconsin sports like a blanket. This is the Bill Michaels Show on the Wisconsin Sports Zone Radio Network.
How's it going?
Good. Bill, you have a guest here, Mike
Clemens? Yeah.
He's going to be, where would you?
You can, he can either come up or conference room or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, because we got a meeting later this afternoon.
Right.
So, yeah.
Wait in here then?
Yeah, that's fine. Thank you.
Okay.
Welcome back. Final segment of the program. Glad to have you on board as we get you ready for the Bucks and the Suns. It is Game 6. It's the big one at home. It is pandemonium ready to break loose in downtown Milwaukee, all throughout the great state of Wisconsin. It is anticipation. It is just all of it coming up tonight. I hope tomorrow. What is the headline going to be, Ben?
I think I was looking through the spread and all this stuff. Honestly, my gut, I think the headline, the picture is Milwaukee in pure pandemonium after the game. It's Giannis hosting the trophy. It's something, now I'm not a wordsmith, but it's something relating to Giannis doing it in Milwaukee and doing it for the city.
I think the headline tomorrow is after 50 years, Bucks win a championship. I think the headline tomorrow is going to be Giannis is the MVP. I think the headline tomorrow will be about how Drew Holiday worked his off defending both Booker and Chris Paul. I think there is going to be I think Chris Middleton goes off for 28 tonight. So there's going to be the Chris Middleton Cash Money fans are going to be back. Which, you know what? I'm all in favor for. Like I said, I'm not a Chris Middleton hater because people think I am. I'm not. It's just that I know what Chris is. I don't have over expectations and I don't have under expectations. I know what he is. Tonight he could come out and drop you 34, or he could drop 12 and shoot 2 for 24. It's just the way he is. So I'm not a hater. I'm just a realist. But I think the headline is going to be that he comes out and drops 28 tonight. And that the heat is off. Coach Bud is giddy. Somebody just asked me too. I really enjoy the fact that Darvin Ham was with this team when they had a shot at going to the NBA Finals and came up one Glenn Robinson bucket short. And now Darvin's back and could possibly win a championship with this team. I'm excited for Darvin Ham too. I really am. So if I have some headlines, if I have some thoughts, if I have some things that I'm going to bring to the table, those would probably be it as far as excitement for tonight's contest.
I mean, if we're being honest, it'll probably just be this.
I wonder if he knew when he said that how much he would be used. You know?
Well, ever since every single series, that's the mantra going in.
Right.
I wonder if a win tonight finally puts that to bed.
I would hope. I would hope. Brandon Jennings, when it was funny because when he came in as a rookie, there was so much promise, and then he dropped, was it against Sacramento? I think he dropped 50 plus. And I remember the story that was written in Sports Illustrated. He sat down at my buddy Gino's restaurant and did the story with the whoever the writer was, did the story and talked about it, and they making all these notes and having dinner together, and he was the toast of the town. He was the up and comer. He was the diamond in the rough that nobody really saw being this good. And then after that, and I'd said it time and again, the worst thing that could have ever happened to him was scoring 50. The worst, because then he thought he was named any prolific scorer in NBA history. That's what he thought he was. And so for him to then say Bucks and 6 and then be used so much throughout the state, I kind of smirk. It's not prophetic, but I guess it's a drop that we can use somewhere along the way.
I mean, eventually you will win series
right.
in 6 games.
I mean, that a lot. The majority of series are 1 in 6 or 7 games throughout the history of the NBA. I think I saw the statistic that it was, I think, 70% of series in the NBA and postseason are in 6 games. So who knew he was going to be on the cusp of something huge at that point in time. But yeah, Mario, definitely, I would be extremely happy for Darvin Ham. Not only because of now, but just knowing Darvin the way I do, you know, he's just such a good guy, just such a genuine guy. And when he played, he was a destructor, man. He would come in, he would commit 2 of their 3 of the most heinous fouls you could ever commit. He'd just give you a hellacious dunk, a couple of block shots, a defensive or 2 rebound where he just outfought somebody, ignite the crowd, then he was done. That was his night. You know, 7 minutes, 12 minutes tops. 4 points, both of them dunks, maybe a foul, and then probably 2 or 3 flagrants along the way, and then call it a night. That's just the way he played. But I love Darvin Ham. He's just such a good guy. And at some point, you would assume Darvin Ham has got to get a head coaching gig. At some point, the dude does. Before we get out of here, I got a couple other ones. This is from Eric, who says, Giannis drops 30. The other 2 out of the big 3 score 20 apiece, and somebody like Lopez puts up 16 or so, and the Bucks should not only be in good shape, but win a world championship. There just basically says fear the deer, Bucks and 6. Pac fan's just a jerk. Over on the Bud Light live stream. I used to sit on the plane with Darvin. You don't even know what the hell you're talking about. This one's from Marcus, who says, I too like Darvin Ham and love the way he plays. Still have a Ham jersey, but have it in the new age jersey. There you go. Like I said, he used to come in and just destroy backboards when he was in college and just give you some hellacious, just unbelievable hops and jumps and dunks when he would come in and just commit a foul where it would drive somebody to the ground. And you would think that they're dead. And then he'd get up, smile, and he'd go back to the bench. George Karl loved him. Loved his energy off the bench. So I'd be all for it. Darvin Ham got a ring. I'd be happy for him too. Happy for all the businesses in Milwaukee. Happy for all the businesses outside of Milwaukee that are, say, the convenience stores, the gas stations and such. All of that. It's good for the state in general for all of this to be going on. So that's it. Tomorrow, I think the headline is going to be 50 years, the 50th anniversary of the hoisting of a championship comes yet another one. I'm hoping. Crossing my finger. Not guaranteeing it, but I think that's going to be the headline coming up tomorrow.